following is a production of Dirty Mo Media. Hey everybody, it's Dale Jr. back again for another episode of the Dale Jr. Download. And with me is TJ Majors and Travis. How's it going, guys?
It's going good here. It's a nice rainy day. Not as, obviously it's nice and sunny where you're at.
Let's go, get some energy. It's an awesome day.
I went to bed late. Someone told me we were starting the show later today.
Yeah, somebody messed up our morning.
Oh, messed your morning up, did I?
I went to bed later than normal.
What happened? You went to bed late? Not my fault.
Somebody told us that we're going to start at 9:30. 8:30 is not doable, TJ, right?
My calendar says 9:30. I'll see you guys then.
Yeah. Well.
See you guys at 8:30.
I woke up this morning ready to go. So here we are.
You in a better mood today?
I was in a good mood yesterday.
Didn't sound like you were.
Why not? How can you see that?
That's the way I took. Did you not? Could you not like sense a bad mood? I mean, when you end it with "see you at 9:30,"
there felt like there was some tone.
There was
in
tone.
The text.
There was definitely some text tone.
You can't read tone in text, silly.
You can't.
I read text tone. You were text toning us.
You can't read tone in text.
I felt like we could read it.
But glad to see you're in a good mood.
I mean, you know what? Next time he gets like that with us, I'm just gonna be like, will you go smell some jerky, please? And
this is the dumbest conversation.
Well, we're ready to go. Now I'm glad that you got up. I'm glad that you got up good and you're ready to go.
Yeah, brother. As soon as I get done with this show, I'm gonna install this Netgear router.
Oh.
Doing a little IT work today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got some outlets in this house that aren't wired. So I'm going to wire them to some guns. So if you want internet, they'll be there.
Hardwire some items, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to hardwire some items. Gotta get
devices
things running a little smoother. Devices, yes.
Shouldn't have you done this before the summer started?
Nah, it's just things you do over time.
Well, Xfinity boosted my internet speeds, and now I'm gonna, I can get a little more aggressive. Start putting more devices holding the hard line. I got to tell y'all something, man. This is pretty badass. We got a few things to talk about today, but one thing that I wanted to tell everybody. So I don't know if any of you have been listening to the Becoming Earnhardt series. We put the series together. It's about my dad's 1979 and 1980 seasons. Rookie of the Year for his first full season in Cup, then champion the next. And we dove deep into the stories around those 2 years. And we have 2 seasons of Becoming Earnhardt for y'all to listen to if y'all want to go check those out. I would really be surprised if you didn't love it, especially this newest season. We really learned a lot in season 1, season 2, I feel like, so just a better product. During those 2 years, my dad drove for a guy named Rod Osterlund, and this was before the Richard Childress days. And Rod was the guy that gave my dad the first full-time break. I have never met Rod Osterlund, and I have never spoke to that man, ever, and he's still out there. I got a phone call yesterday and spoke to Rod Osterlund for the first time in my life.
Wow,
yeah.
Yeah. So, long story short, I got into some of his granddaughter reached out and were, they knew that I wanted to speak to him and meet him, and we had a lot of conversations with the girls about their dad and their granddad, and it was great. They're great people. They sound like awesome people. And I think in doing the Becoming Earnhardt series and sort of doing the Earnhardt documentary and all these things we've been doing over the last several years, just trying to learn more. I'm just trying to learn more about Dad and learn more about his life and who he was and decisions he made and stuff like that and his experiences and the people that were around during all that too. And so, I just got curious to really want to tell him thanks. So that was really cool for me. Yesterday, Rod Osterlund called me. I answered the phone. We talked for about 30 minutes. I told him, he said, well, I don't know, what you need from me or what you're looking for. I said, man, I just want a relationship. I just want to be able to text you and say, hey, or check in, and I want to know you. And I want to also, before we hang up the phone, tell you thank you. And because what he did for my dad is it changed Dad's path, and Dad went down this road, and everyone that was ever connected to Dad benefited off of that decision that Rod made to put Dad in his car. Everybody, anybody that was ever connected, we're sitting right here. And the way I think about things is like all of us sitting right here are a result, right, of that decision. And so it's like this domino in this long line of dominoes. And, so I was just like, hey, I don't know what our life would have been like had you not done that. So I just was really wanting to tell him how much I appreciate it. And I don't know that he's had anybody tell him that in a long time. And so he's the guy who kind of took the first jump, and went all in on a rookie that was pretty rough around the edges. And so, yeah, that was a pretty neat conversation. And hopefully we'll get a chance to talk more. Super cool guy, a lot of fun to talk to. And that was a pretty cool deal. So
what took so long to actually talk to him, do you think? You know what I mean? Like,
I just feel like that I'm just going to say, TJ, that I think that he had kind of intentionally been, moved himself out of the conversation.
Yeah.
And made he sounds like he's kind of the guy that for a long time really didn't want to talk about it. Didn't want to be asked about it. Didn't want to go into detail and do all those things, and seemed like he's a guy that just kind of wanted to go on about the rest of his life. I think selling the team in '81 was really hard on him. It was a hard decision that he didn't want to make, but he had to make, and maybe that story will get told one day. But I guess I told him, I was like, look, man, I'm not trying to get you to come on my podcast. I'm not trying to get you to sort of, spell out your whole story for me to record and show everybody. But he's like, hey, man, I might be into that. I might be curious about doing that. They might be open, something I want to do or we can do down the road. And I'm like, if it happens, it happens. No big deal. I just really wanted to say thank you, know you, text you, how you doing, what's going on, appreciate you. And so I don't know. I'd love it if he did want to.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I'd love it if he wanted to do a podcast, but it's not something I'm going to push. Moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about the car store. The car store ran the Throwback Classic at Hickory, and it was a historic race because there was $30,000 for the pro late model and $50,000 for the late model stocks. TJ, I don't know if you caught any of the action on Sunday night.
I caught a lot of it.
Did you? Okay.
I did.
Well, the race was rain delayed, and the series worked really hard to get it in, and it was tough on everyone there, the competitors sitting around waiting and waiting and waiting. Everything about the weekend was a bit of a grind, and that happens sometimes when you're kind of at the mercy of what the weather's going to do. But we did the best we could so that we didn't postpone it and have to have everybody leave and then come back another time. We tried to get it in, and we did. The pro late model race was exciting, great side-by-side battle to the finish line. Jack Baldwin and Spencer Davis. Spencer Davis wins the $30,000. Pretty awesome deal.
Side-by-side racing.
If you want, you can see a little bit of a more detailed conversation around the Cars Tour race on Flo's socials. I cut a video for them earlier that you can check out. We move on to the late model stocks, and everything was going pretty good. Tristan McKee's leading the race, and then we had a late restart. Kaden Honeycutt jumped the restart, and he might not admit to. He's just trying to be aggressive, and he was wrong. He was not. Yeah, he jumped a restart. So, and then he jumps the start. The booth's trying to determine if that is the right call because you can't make the wrong call there. They are determining that that is exactly what we're going to do. We're all in communication that we think that this black flag in the 17 is a thing to do. At times they throw yellows too. If you jump the start, he'll throw a yellow and then put the car that jumped the start to the back, or a warning. It depends on what you want to do. It's different. Different things have happened in the series over the course of its existence.
Yeah. But they never got a chance to do that there, though, right? Yeah, because the caution came out.
They come through turn 3 and 4, and Landon Lewis moved the 7 up off the bottom. They're side by side, and they make contact and down the front straightaway. There's 2 different opinions here. One opinion is that Tristan's out of control and they wreck, right? And to frame it up for those who didn't see it, the 7 is on the outside, and he is in the door of Landon Lewis, and they're driving them down the track. And so I don't know if he's doing that intentionally, he's steering the car left, trying to drive into the side of Landon Lewis, and he's just lost his mind. Or is he's just out of control because it happens so fast. They get together, they touch, the cars turn sideways, and then they overcorrect back up into the outside wall, and they can collect a lot of other cars in the crash. So either he lost control of the car and they just wrecked, or he intentionally right hooked him. There's a real good video of this tails away from turn 4 that, to me, makes it look more like a dumb accident, a dumb racing accident, not really something that was entirely intentional. But because if Tristan's trying to right hook him, driving into the door number of the car ain't the way to do it. But anyways,
I don't think he wasn't trying to right hook him. I don't think. I think he was just pissed off. Then he got moved up the track.
If that's the case, that's a damn shame because it tore up a lot of race cars. And he shouldn't. If that's the case, he shouldn't do those things and make those decisions inside the car.
For sure.
But there could be the case that he just lost his ass and spun out, wrecked himself, and wrecked Landon and everyone else in the process, just ran out of talent, So it's one of the 2. Anyways, after that, Mini Tyrell was able to inherit the lead and had a great restart, run the last couple laps, wins the race. Good for Mini, good for the series to get it in. And thankful for Flo and everybody that wanted to try to make an event like that reality. This the idea of the big money race was Flo's idea, and they put a lot behind it to make it happen. And hopefully they saw enough that they want to continue to invest in the Cars Tour one way or another. And because I feel like that's really been a great success for us to be partnered with Flo, and we've been able to get a lot of momentum and traction. So anyhow,
as a spectator I thought it was great.
Yeah, thank you.
The racing at the end there before the big wreck, I was highly entertained. I mean, those guys were putting on a great show, and it was fun. You didn't want to look away, and that's right. That's what you want. Yeah. I didn't want to quit watching.
Yeah, we've had some events that have went much worse.
For sure. At least they all shifted correctly. And
sometimes, yeah, right. I get it. Speaking of Kaden Honeycutt, per Bob Pockris, a lot of people know about this, but Nice, the truck that he drives for, has announced that they've released Kaden Honeycutt because he signed with a different team and manufacturer for next year. Connor Zilisch will go in the 45 truck at the Glen. Bailey Curry will drive it the rest of the season. I'd expect Honeycutt to find some rides to try to get himself through the playoffs. And the Tricon Toyota connection is most likely where he's going in 2026. Honeycutt is 73 points above the cut line for the playoffs. I don't remember ever hearing anything like this before, where a guy got a new job for next year, and so you fired him. I'm sure it's happened. But it feels like this is something that maybe went down in the 70s or 80s. It's nothing that's happened recently.
Yeah, it hasn't really.
Look, I've been reading online, and there's a lot of back and forth. People mad at the team. People even saying Kaden, could have handled it differently. I have zero problem with a driver getting a different deal and going somewhere else. Now, you'd like some loyalty. You'd like some commitment. You've given Kaden this chance. Nice has given him this chance, right, to get into the truck series. Well, he used that opportunity, and he's going to go somewhere better and different. He's going to go drive a truck. So this tells us a little bit maybe about what may be happening with Corey Heim. So you would assume, and you could be wrong, but you'd assume that Corey Heim is going to move out of the trucks and go on up to the Cup level, maybe racing for 2311, or maybe he goes into a Gibbs Xfinity car. Who knows? But Kaden is going to probably take that seat. This is the best truck in the garage right now. So you can't blame Kaden for turning down that opportunity. They may have reached out to him and said, hey, best truck in the garage. You want to race it next year? Who would say no? Does Nice have the right to get pissed off and cut him? Yes. Sure. I mean, if that's what they want to do. It's a little silly across the board, I think, for everybody. Why Nice couldn't have said, you know what, Kaden, I'm kind of disappointed that you're going to go somewhere else. But, yeah, let's finish the year strong. It makes you wonder, I guess. I guess it makes me wonder what kind of relationship Kaden, Nice, the team, everybody has currently. That it wasn't strong enough to sort of at least get to the finish line, right?
Yeah, it seems like something happened, or their relationship was already on the rocks, because to just say you're 73 points to the good and we're just going to figure this out is odd.
So during the year, when you get a driver like Kaden in your car, and this is what I try to do, and it's inevitable. You get a driver that comes into the team, and during the season, inevitably, you develop this relationship. You become the driver's biggest fan. You badly believe that in the right scenario, this driver can get the job done, and you as an owner feel like, man, I got to give him the tools, and I'm not going to give up until I can figure out this equation or this package that he needs to be successful. And so like, I guess I'm just saying, like, to your point, there's more to the story, or that their relationship from driver to team or owners never did flourish, or it wasn't to the point to where everyone could kind of look past the decision that he made to go drive for another team next year and say, hey, let's stick it out. Let's finish this year strong. Hate you're going to move on. It sucks for us. We invested in you, gave you this chance. But I get it. You got an opportunity, got a call from the best truck in the garage.
I think you said it there when you said they invested in him, in my opinion, because I think Nice gave him the opportunity to run a year or two, to be successful in the trucks as much as he has been. And I think they, obviously to me, with them cutting him like this, and he must not have been bringing a lot of support himself to the table. He must have been he's not paying to be there. So
yeah, I get. I mean, I hear you, man. But I mean, what did they not? What about?
You can't really blame him.
Who?
The team. You can't blame him for he thinks bettering himself.
Yeah, I mean, I know it sucks to say this, but I see kind of both sides.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, if you're Kaden, you're trying your hardest to get. You're trying to make a living driving race cars. And if the best car in the garage calls you and offers you the ride, How can you turn that down?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can in his position, but the thing that makes me worried about it is Corey Himes won how many races in that truck, and he's still in the truck series, and he's been in there for so long. I know, like this all depends on what Corey does. Like, what's Corey's path here? Is Corey running a trucks in another truck, or is he going Xfinity? Is he going Cup? Like, who knows?
I mean, yeah, I just feel like that. Mark Martin has told a story about when he came into NASCAR in 1981 with his own car, and he ran about 4 or 5 races, set on the pole a couple times, ran in the top 10, and he's like, man, I can do this. I got a great program. I'm building this it's all my own, and I can beat these guys. And then Ranier called him with the 28, and I think they were getting rid of Benny Parsons or something mid-season, and they offered him the ride in that 28 car, this badass fast race car. And he turned it down. He's like, nah, guys, I appreciate it. I like what I'm doing with my stuff. And it was, he's like, what a idiot I was. Because I didn't, realize like what a great opportunity that would be. And I could go drive someone else's car, and it's Waddell Wilson, one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. And so Kaden, would be a fool to say, yeah, I'm going to turn down this opportunity. I'm going to stick with these guys, and boy, hopefully that's going to get me to the Cup Series one day. That's, no. Taking this call and taking this opportunity is as it is for Nice and is, as tough as it is for a lot of people to comprehend, you got to go do it.
Yeah, that's how sports goes.
Yeah, you got to go do it. And so Nice needs to, and try to learn what they can from the process, and try to put themselves in a situation, I suppose, with the next Kaden Honeycutt where this doesn't happen. But I just wonder, like, why the relationship wasn't strong enough to finish the year. I can understand them being frustrated and mad about it, but why there wasn't enough of a relationship that had developed over the course of the time they've raced together, because they've done some good things together, Kaden and Nice. So how come there wasn't enough
to finish the year?
To finish the year, yeah. Well, who is it? Who's the one that couldn't step up and is there something wrong? Is there something wrong with Kaden? Did he not develop that relationship with them? Is it the owners? Were they not?
I don't know. He's been there a while.
Embracing him. I know.
It's hard to think that he doesn't have a good relationship with, the owners or anybody there, really.
I also question Nice doing this because now our other driver is going to be like a little cautious, like, if I go there and then a better opportunity arises, I want to leave, they're going to do this to me. So do I go drive for another truck? Like,
no. I think what I learned from this is if you're going to go drive for Nice, your ass better be loyal and you better be committed to the damn process. And so
maybe they did have
we don't know he wasn't loyal though.
He's leaving them after the end.
That doesn't mean he's not loyal.
Well, I mean,
it does.
Maybe they had bigger plans of moving up or making the program bigger.
They gave him his shot, and he is going to cut bait and go drive for a better team.
Cut bait is if his contract is not up and then he's just leaving, that's one thing. But if his contract's up and he's moving to another, I don't think that's cutting bait. Like that's sports. That's life.
We don't know either one of those.
Yeah, we don't know.
That's what I'm saying, that you can't say that he's not being loyal if we don't know.
I feel like that.
I mean, he's leaving.
That's the way they feel. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
They fired him.
You're thinking along the lines of like Major League Baseball and NFL. This don't work like that here. NASCAR is different. This ain't like a free agency and his contract ran up and you give a guy a break. Trying to get into the truck series is hard. Trying to get your opportunity, Kaden trying to get a chance to drive a truck is tough.
Yeah, I mean to get paid to drive the truck, I'm assuming,
And Nice is sitting there going, "Hey, man, we're the people that gave you this chance. How could you do this? How could you leave us?" I know why he left them. He left them for the right reasons. He's going to drive a better truck. He's going to drive something that might get him into the next level. Because that's what he wants to do.
He's got to prove himself.
He's got to be selfish, and as a selfish, a little bit of selfish move, but he's got to be able to make it to the top.
Let me ask you this. If he wasn't racing well, would Nice have kept him around?
Would Tricon Toyota hired him?
But what I'm saying, though, is you can't get mad if a driver if it leaves you. If he was driving bad, they would have cut him. They weren't going to be loyal. So, like, it's a two-way street here. And
if you don't have a job, Travis, and I hire you, and I take you from not having anything to drive to put you in a full-time paid position, and you drive and you work for me for a while, and then you bounce on me in the middle of the season when I feel like
I didn't bounce on you in the middle of the season.
That's when you tell me you're leaving me and you're going somewhere else in the middle of the season.
But that's the nature of the sport. They have to have these contracts decided. Like,
but there might have been a handshake deal. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm going to stick you. We're going to ride this thing out. We're going to make it great." And then, oh, by the way, I'm leaving. I mean, we don't know what's being said behind there or what's going on. I mean, I'm going to be mad at you if you leave me, especially if I feel like we're building and you're in the playoffs. I'm going to be mad.
I think that Kaden did the right thing, but I do
for himself.
I do understand how I'm not bothered that Nice is butthurt about it. Being an owner, I guess I got a bit of an understanding of why Nice would be angry
for sure
about this, and I would just say I understand why they're mad, but I still think I would have tried for the good of my reputation, for the good of the team, for Kaden, for everything to finish the year.
Yeah.
Man, why couldn't they just finish the year and then you sit down, have a conversation? I guess what I'm saying is don't you believe that like 20 years down the road when you asked everybody involved, would you have done it different? They're probably going to say they would have.
When Kaden got into the trucks, he wasn't in the Nice stuff to begin with, and when they took a chance on him and put him in their stuff, they put Kaden on the map for us.
Yeah. Yeah, Caden's good and talented, and they knew that, and they put him in their truck, and they got some results.
Because he wasn't running that good in the trucks in his own, like whatever he was driving in the beginning. I remember seeing him run his own stuff, and he'd run okay here and there, but nothing like what he did when he got in the Nice stuff.
Yeah, well, it's pretty interesting. Hate that it had to happen and go down like that so publicly is all.
Yeah, we don't see that a lot.
No, we don't. I think Caden's best. The best thing Kaden can do going forward is to just spin the positive, man. Hey, look forward to next year. Gonna do everything I can. Stay out of the negative. Stay out of the social media back and forth, and even if Nice says something, or which I don't think they will, but I would just say, look, man, let's just try not to let this get too awkward and ugly. Whether you've got one shelf or a whole wall dedicated to NASCAR diecast, there's always room for more. And nobody brings the excitement to the track and to your collection like Lionel Racing, the official diecast of NASCAR. From the legendary rides like the number 3 Goodwrench car to the paint schemes of today's hottest stars like Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain, Lionel Racing diecasts are built for true fans. Every car is authentically detailed, and most are available in both 124 and 164 scales. Whether you're after race wins, special finishes, autographed pieces, or the elite premier editions, Lionel has you covered. And right now, for a limited time, fans of the Dale Jr. Download can get free U.S. shipping on their next order at LionelRacing.com. Just use the promo code DJD25. That's promo code DJD25 at LionelRacing.com. Xfinity race was kind of boring for the Junior Motorsports guys. We had a shot at winning it. We kind of stepped on our
each other.
Yeah. So this is the tough part, man, and this is the sucky part about being an owner is your cars running into each other. But Connor went down in the corner 3 wide, missed the bottom, got loose and hit Chastain, and Chastain got shoved up into Allgaier, and Allgaier got spun out. And it feels like that Allgaier gets run over by his teammates at least once or twice a year.
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. Well, you could say that, yeah. But I'm saying like the young guys that we have come into our program. Yeah. The young guys, like Noah, man, I can't. Every year I've had to sit down with Justin and say, man, you know these kids, man, you know how they are. They're going to make mistakes. I'm sorry that you're the guy that keeps getting run over. I'm sure they don't take better care of you. They ought to. They're in cars that run really good, and you're a big reason for that. Justin's kind of been there orchestrating this whole deal with us. And
it's a very valid point.
These kids come into the program, and they benefit from all the work that Justin's done. They ought to take better care of them on the racetrack. It's my opinion.
Have you had that talk with Justin lately?
No, not lately. But I mean, I put my arm around him after Indy. I put my arm around him, but
it's scheduled.
I hadn't had a chance. Yeah, I haven't had a chance.
Or do you think that we could see Justin drive with his elbows out a little more races coming up, or do you think he's going to do what Justin does?
That's not him. I mean,
he drives with his elbows out already.
Yeah, I don't think he has any list or anything like that. But Justin's a hard racer all the time.
This is just the circumstances that happen. This is just the circumstances that happen when you got these young kids coming up through the program. It's just like the Cars Tour. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to race hard. They're going to do things. They're going to get it wrong every now and then. Connor Zilisch, we know he's an extremely talented guy, but he's not done making mistakes. He's not done putting himself in a bad situation. He's 19. He's going to have a lot of experiences.
There's a lot more of these
next
coming.
Several years. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that he'd love to have back. And and as an owner, you'll have to weather it. As a teammate, you'll have to weather it.
I look to see how Connor reacts to this when the shoe's on the other foot. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Connor's like, he felt like he got done probably like this in Chicago, right?
Yeah, I suppose, yes.
So, and it probably was a little less than this too, because I don't think Chicago was really that bad at all. You know, this is probably a little bit worse than that, but
yeah. I mean, it's just part of racing.
Growing up.
I told Rick, it's part of growing up. I told Rick after Indy, I was like, man, when you build multiple cars that can go fast and you put great drivers in them, sometimes they're going to run into each other at the front of the field. And I mean, it just, you can sit down and tell them, I've done it. You can sit down and say, hey guys, we got to be great teammates. We weren't good teammates. In the off season, I had a conversation with all our teams at Junior Motorsports, and I said, I didn't think we were great teammates last year. I want everybody to work on that. I want y'all to be better teammates to each other. And that's the example of not, being a great teammate. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about, is like, hey, I expect y'all to race hard, but take care of each other. And the thing about a guy like Connor and even Sammy, when they're young, they're not trying to be great teammates. They're trying to learn. They're trying to get better. They're trying to win. They're trying to impress. They're trying to prove that they belong there. And being a good teammate, if that happens, it's just by happenstance. Because it's not something that I don't think I even put a lot of effort in that in the first half of my career. I had teammates like Martin Truex Jr. and Michael Waltrip. And if they benefited from anything I did, great. But I didn't go out of my way, to try to help them. And I wasn't trying to be a great teammate. Maybe I wasn't a great teammate.
I mean, you did have some run-ins. The Charlotte deal with the 15 there.
Yeah.
Things were tense for a while during that point in time.
100%. And so, I just feel like that when you're young, you don't really know what it means to be a good teammate. You don't really know what that's about. I went to Hendrick second half of my career. I realized that all the drivers, you kept some things to yourself. You didn't tell everybody everything you knew, but the teammates that I had at Hendrick showed me how to be a good teammate.
They did, yeah.
And, Jimmy, for example, being a good teammate for Jimmy was, hey, man, why don't you, why don't you ride bikes, get in better shape? Why don't you go, hey, this has helped me mentally be a better racer. Why don't you try this? Or, Jimmy wasn't coming up and going, I like this sway bar I just put in my car, or I changed something in the interior that makes my job easier. You check it out. He wasn't that kind of guy. Jimmy was the kind of teammate that was going to take you and show you what you could do during the week to be better, or enjoy life and be better mentally and be a better racer.
I feel like that whole 48 car going over there, they were all from Chad. Everybody was open arms. Like they were very inviting and great teammates in general. Like it was great.
Yeah, so I think, becoming a great teammate is a process, and it takes a long time for a driver to develop good habits, I think. And it's not, so I'm not too surprised. And I hate to see Connor go down in there and door those guys and get up the track and screw everything up. But it's part of being 19. It's part of learning the ropes. And it sucks, though, that Justin's the guy on the outside that gets spun out because he don't deserve it.
Do you feel like Connor's slowly pushing his teammates away at times? Because, this isn't the first time that he's got into a teammate this year. At Coda, he drives into one and gets a couple of them there. We're kind of having some repeating things.
Yeah, he did do some things at Coda that weren't good for his teammates, that's for sure. Yeah, I think you got to sit down. I think you can sit down with him and say, all right, man, we gotta knock it off. Try to finish this year without, making your teammates' day worse.
Yeah, and it's not like he doesn't have a win now. He's stacking wins this year now.
He's tied for the lead regular season championship.
He's got a great, and honestly, this a bigger brain move here is to get through that corner without getting in anybody and finishing better in the race. But
if you listen, here's another piece of advice, and I haven't talked to Connor yet, and I will. But if you are going to go 3 wide into turn 1 under your teammates at Iowa, you better wrap the apron.
Yeah, especially if it's your teammates.
If you're making that decision on corner entry, you better adjust and make sure your ass can wrap the apron and not get loose and get up into your teammates. I don't mind you trying to go 3 wide. I don't mind you going for it.
For sure.
But wrap the bottom, and if you make the pass, you make the pass. And that's kind of the way it is. That was my instant reaction when it happened, was why in the wouldn't you just go down in the corner and wrap the bottom? And don't charge the corner and get your ass loose underneath them. So, happens. But it just doesn't always have to. We just try to say, hey, let's not make this a habit. All right, moving on to the Cup race. I'll be honest, I kind of was not too what'd you think about it? I wasn't too entertained. It's kind of a blah race for me.
Boring as
Phew.
I will say in person, it was one of those.
Is it different in person?
Looking back there, those guys are it was a battle, man.
Well, you're locked in. You're telling your driver.
No, but it wasn't. I'm talking about like where the pack was. Like, when you go to Martinsville, you see the leader up front, whatever. But like, man, in the group there's something going on like every lap. Like there was somebody getting loose or somebody crossing lanes or trying to do something different. And there was more. I thought the action in person was fairly entertaining.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Is that a product, though, of these drivers? They feel like they have to do something because it's impossible to pass, and then this track is limited on how many grooves there are, and so that's why you were having these issues, but that doesn't make it a good race?
There's always going to be a preferred groove.
No, but I'm saying these drivers are trying things because it's like, well, I can't pass, so I got to roll the dice here, and so that's why you're getting that stuff happening.
I think the beginning of the race, so from the practice, there was everyone was screaming loose in. You have Kyle Busch wrecking numerous guys up the racetrack in practice. There was a lot of guys having some handling issues. So
yep.
A lot of the debriefs, I'm sure, were, man, you got to fix the loose end. You got to fix this loose end. A lot of drivers complain about that. So they start the race, and everybody's tippy-toeing for a little while. Like, no one wants to wreck their car the first 30, 40 laps of a 350-lap race. So you're not going to have all these wrecks in the beginning. They're not going to tear their stuff up. But as the race goes on and track position becomes harder and harder to get, you got guys taking more risk, putting guys in worse positions, trying to move them up the racetrack a little bit, but they're also still battling those handling conditions. In my opinion, you're still fighting the car too, because guys were getting loose and going up the racetrack. And I like seeing that, because we don't see that a lot with this car. We don't see guys fighting the cars like we used to. Like, we used to go to the racetrack and every like once a practice or twice practice, somebody would wreck, get loose in or something and back it in. We don't ever see that nowadays. And these guys had their hands full, and I thought as the race went on, they were getting more aggressive, and a little bit to your point, Travis, they were taking more and giving less. And when those two meet, that's, they're going to hit.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, this is a tough spot for me, man. I love being a broadcaster in this sport. I love, I am a big fan of NASCAR. I'm a big believer in NASCAR. And I read a lot of the dialogue online. I see what Brad Keselowski says. I see what Chris Gabehart says, and Kenny Francis and Cole Pern and all these people that I really respect. Denny on his show, he's driving the car. So, I have a lot of respect for all these people, and I believe what they say, and I see what I see with my own eyes. And I want to say that I don't love the next gen car, but it's here. I don't love the next gen car. I don't love it's an IMSA car. It's a sports car. It's got a diffuser. It's got low profile tires. It's got big rims and big brakes, and it's a sports car. It's not a NASCAR stock car. But it's here. Everybody's invested. There's millions of dollars already way down the road. And the car's here. It's on the track. It's not changing. It's not going anywhere. And so it doesn't do me any good to sit here and about the lack of tire fall off or the inability to pass. It's frustrating.
But the lack of tire fall off, they could have brought a softer tire too.
There was actually more you could. So the thing about this race is, you go to last week, they couldn't get side by side. Like, even with new tires, you could barely make ground up or anything. Here, you had got them guys that pitted late. They could actually knife through the field a little bit.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace drove up through the field.
Look at Blaney. Blaney restarted in the back, passed his way up through there, got to fourth at the end.
Yeah, but so Denny said they had a tire that had a fall off of 2.5 seconds that they obviously didn't use, and he had tires just cording at the end.
I'm all for tire fall off and being able to, big separation.
If you had tires cording at the end, the tire that he wanted them to bring that would have had all that fall off would have likely had some issues.
I'm guessing so. Issues. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of cording from a lot of cars.
Well, if the fall off is great, 2 seconds of fall off in 25 laps is awesome.
Oof.
But if the tire they brought was cording, that tire that would have fell off would have been in the cords sooner. Which I don't give a shit. Slow down.
Yeah, manage it.
Come down. Yeah, get down pit road, put tires on, whatever.
I am all for that.
That that happened at Bristol
was amazing.
I was great. I was good with it.
It was awesome.
Slow down. Manage your tires. I don't know what to do about. So when I'm in the booth, when I'm in the booth working, there's this feeling of I'm part of trying to pull this thing in the right direction. I'm part of trying to make sure we show that the race is good and the product is good, and I see things during those races like getting down into turn one, Eric Jones behind somebody, maybe Byron or somebody, and Byron shut the damn air off to the 43 car and up the racetrack. Eric Jones went, and I'm like, God, I hate this car. But then there's moments where I enjoy watching the races and I don't mind the car, or, the car puts on a great show, But would I have ever built a NASCAR stock car that had a diffuser?
Never.
No.
I answer that for you. I know you wouldn't.
And I wouldn't have put a low-profile tire on it and changed the sidewall so the drivers can't feel the tire, don't know where the limit of grip is, and can't trust it. We hear the drivers talk about that all the time. They go in the corner and they don't have any clue where the grip is in the car, and it's tough,
Just snaps.
Yeah, because of the sidewall, the tire's so short. The brakes. What the? Why do we put all these great brakes on? Now the braking zones are so short.
Oh yeah.
Like, we used to race at Martinsville, and the brakes would fade, and you'd have to take care of your brakes, and the braking zone was long enough to be able to kind of charge into a corner and do things different to try to make passes. But
you could also take care of those too. You know what I mean? Brakes were also something that you took care of.
Yeah. Now the brakes are just
so
incredible.
Good. They're awesome. Yeah. They're too good.
Yeah. Why? Why did we do that? But it's all here. It's here. It's bought and paid for. There's no changes coming. So if you know that nothing's going to change, they ain't taking the diffuser off. They're not changing the tire. They're not changing the brakes. And if you know that, then what good is it to sit here on this podcast and about it? Because at the same time, I believe in a successful NASCAR, and I want NASCAR to succeed and be the best thing going. But I'm not an influencer on what they're going to do with their race car. I wish I was. I wish that they would, hire. I think, not necessarily hire. I wish that they would bring in a couple guys that could help them maybe make a couple changes or steer the thing in a different direction. It's not going to happen.
But I think you speaking out and others speaking out will help.
Help what?
Get some. I think you're not going to get they're not going to change the car itself, but I think some changes can be made if you're talking about it. Like, why wasn't the track fully repaved? That's one thing you could.
They ain't got the money. Who's going to pay for that?
NASCAR. They got the money.
No, they're not. NASCAR doesn't own that racetrack. They're not. I'm not. If you're going to ask me to pave your driveway,
well,
I don't own your property. I'm not paving your driveway. What are you talking about, Travis?
Then don't go race there. Tell them to fix the track.
All right. That's how you want to operate.
I do see Travis's point. Like, if you're going to repave a corner, don't just do one lane. At least try to do you don't have to do the whole straightaway, but at least do the corners in.
Was that ridiculous how they paved that track? Yes.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, look, you know what? It tells me that this place is really on thin ice. If they can't afford to pave the whole racetrack, I don't believe they're sitting on a pile of money.
But was it a money thing, or I heard that it was a timing issue?
Maybe it was a timing issue.
They did do it right before we went there
last year.
They've had time to go back and correct it. They haven't. I don't know. I mean, who gives a about the racetrack?
Well,
it's in the rearview mirror, and it's one racetrack in the whole calendar year. There's bigger problems than how they paved Iowa.
I agree with that as well. I mean, there's
both can be right, though.
Why are we worried about that?
I mean, I don't think repaving it fixes the whole problem here. You're still gonna go back to the race.
Yeah, the racetrack ain't the problem.
It doesn't help.
So it ain't the problem.
So what made the race, like in your opinion, made the race so bad?
Was the Xfinity race bad because of the track?
No, but I mean, we know that none of us are saying that the car is, like, I'm not saying the car is fine. I'm just saying that fixing the track is a small thing that can help.
Nah. I'm not worried about the track.
To TJ's, the fact that the only way that Brad was able to pass was when they finally got the lap cars, and that shouldn't happen.
That's a car thing, not a track thing.
I'm fully aware of that.
Well, we got Travis cussing now.
At that point did I say that the car is fine. The car is the major issue, but there are small things that they can do to help out.
Yeah.
I saw a decent amount of passing compared to the week before. So, and you could get side by side.
You can't compare anything to Indy.
That's what I'm saying. So, but you could get side by side. Was it hard to pass? Yes. Are these guys super good and accurate where they drive now? And I mean, these guys are so good when they're racing, and I don't think they get enough credit. Like William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Briscoe, where they can place the car and be so accurate with it to make it so hard to pass is really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's something we have to talk about now because it's, it's definitely a part of the sport, the defense and all that good shit.
I was thinking to myself if the mirror would have helped if they
take it out.
If they put the old school mirror back in and
how about no mirrors?
More.
They race in some parts of the country at oval tracks with super late models with no mirrors. None.
Yeah, I mean.
Right? So, yeah. You don't know what the going on back there.
I do think that would help because, I mean, those mirrors, like you said before, the digital ones are so big. I mean, the driver just stares that thing into the corner.
Travis, there's one thing that I think we could change today is to take the mirrors out.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they can't just take them out. That costs nobody nothing.
Could you give them the old school mirror still? Just the old school one that you used to have?
Put the whatever you want in there. I don't give a but ain't no digital mirror.
Yeah.
The teams will that they got all these damn high expensive mirrors sitting on a shelf. But I mean, that's
sell them to IMSA.
Yeah, sell them to IMSA. Yeah, that's funny. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that we have races like this and the car's frustrating to watch, and what the drivers are dealing with, and what the drivers are struggling with when it comes to aero. We're worried about being modern and having a race car that all the kids are gonna love, with cool diffusers and mag wheels and
I know you missed that wing.
Yeah,
you missed that wing a lot, don't you?
Yeah,
that was one of your favorite pieces of a race car.
That single lug, the single lug wheel, boy. I'm glad we got that single lug wheel, boy.
Would you get rid of that?
Yeah.
You don't like it?
No, I ride down the road all day and see nothing but 5 lug wheels on all these passenger cars. Every car parked out here on the street got 4 or 5 lugs on it, holding each wheel on. Ain't no single lugs rolling around on the street.
Not to mention, I feel like there's a lot of issues with wheels coming off with the single lug.
There's somebody that put a stat up on social media. More wheels have come off since the next gen car than a good chunk of time back when we had 5 lug nuts holding these things on.
You didn't have them come off very much back then. You actually had a buffer, right? When it got loose, you actually had time to recognize it.
It was rare, but it was still pretty nasty when it happened. But
it was not fun.
Yeah, I was driving down the road the other day, looking around at all the cars on the highway, thinking, "Ain't there single lugs out here? Where's the single lug crew at? Where's the single lug gang?"
Not yet. I don't think street cars will ever get to the single lug. I don't think they will.
Let's hope not. Some be coming off going down 77.
Yeah, 77 would be terrible at that point. No.
We don't need the general public going through that experience.
That guy's suspended for a week. He's not going to be able to drive his car for a week.
He can't go to work.
Yeah.
Hey, TJ, I like that phone. Is it new?
Yeah, I got this awesome new phone. I've recently joined the Consumer Cellular family, and they hooked me up with a great phone and great service.
You're telling me that your phone actually works at the racetracks?
Yeah, my phone has been excellent at the racetracks, and honestly, you can't beat the Consumer Cellular service and the offers they have going right now.
I mean, that's cool, but I'm assuming that it's probably kind of expensive, right?
Yeah, that's funny. Consumer Cellular is a steal of a deal. I don't know why more people have not made this switch. Nationwide service, fraction of the price, the 2 for $60 plan, no long-term contract. I mean, it's awesome.
All right, I'm in. So how do I get this deal?
They basically have an elite pit crew on standby waiting for you to call and make the switch. It's 100% U.S.-based customer service. Takes around 20 minutes, and it'll be one of the best decisions you ever make. And now it couldn't be a better time to switch to Consumer Cellular and get $25 off with code DJD25. That's DJD25 for $25 off when you switch to Consumer Cellular. Go to consumercellular.com/DJD and use promo code DJD25.
We're going to talk about Hocevar and Zane Smith.
I know you're excited about this.
I'm exhausted talking about Hocevar, everyone. I really wanted to move on and skip over this one, but apparently the rest of the crew is just really enjoying the Hocevar.
The train, the IDGAF train.
Yeah, happenings. Yeah.
The hurricane train or whatever they're calling it.
Hurricane Hocevar.
Yeah.
So he got loose, and I guess he got loose underneath Zane and wrecked him. And then Zane tried to wreck him back, missed.
He did miss. You can't do that, though.
And then Zane's crew chief come up to Carson on pit road after the race. Man, I mean, it's like we've seen this before, multiple times.
Yeah. What do you think about that? What do you think about the crew chief approaching the driver?
I don't mind. I think it's fine.
I mean, that's his race car.
Yeah, yes. I mean, Hocevar needs to hear from somebody. So I'm fine with that.
Zane Smith almost became the hero of the week.
But he can't hit him.
I mean, he was...
That's embarrassing.
Yes.
You should get fined for that.
Good gosh. This was your chance.
Like the Cup garage would have
rejoiced.
Carried you into Watkins Glen on the road.
It'll look like Rudy going to the airport, man.
Yep.
Instead, you just whiff and look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Also, what do you make, though, that I get that Carson's done some dumb things. Is it just because he doesn't have the benefit of the doubt that we're reacting this way with this incident?
I don't know, man. I'm just so exhausted. I don't know. I mean,
I know what you probably shouldn't do is get on social media and poke the bear some more.
So that's the next question is like, I love it. I'm not a Cup driver.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Dale, if you're driving, what do you think that like you and the other drivers are reacting to seeing these posts that he's putting up?
That part I do like. So our sport needs personality, and he's got a lot of personality. And some of the stuff that he does or has done or does in the future, I'm not going to love all of it, but I like it because we need people.
Stirs the pot.
Yeah, we need people like, hey, yeah, we need people that are like that.
Yeah, we need guys that push the envelope a little bit, that push guys out of their comfort zone.
The one thing that I think if he would try to calm down a little bit, though, he would do a little bit better.
You talking about look at just in the car or all the way?
Yeah.
Or like overall?
He needs to, I think he needs to clean it up a little bit, in terms of look at his results since Nashville. Just a lot of incidents, a lot of contact, a lot of problems, a lot of rough finishes, bad finishes. And I think that, if he needs to kind of like take this, I'd like to see him take the next like step in polishing his craft.
Yeah. Maturing.
Yeah, not, I don't want him to change anything he's doing off the track or not
as a
really.
race car driver,
When you say maturing, people are going to go, they're going to think you're talking about the off the track.
No, I mean just
social media.
I mean making better decisions in the race car.
Here's his results since Nashville: 29, 34, 18, 10, 35, 32, 35, 10, 8.
Yeah, like what the hell?
And he hasn't done himself any favors during most of that time as well.
I'm just saying, like, let's kind of get back to basics. Let's get back to racing. Let's quit like ruffling a feather every single weekend. Let's go run a complete race. He's got quick cars. He's got good talent. Let's kind of get back to building this team, helping this team get to where they want to go.
When you say building the team, you mean finishing races in one piece, no extra things, wiping the car off, going to the next race with it, and not having somebody pissed off at you.
That's right. I think he needs to work on that a little bit and take a little bit of time just to, let the dust settle.
Around Nashville, he was arguably the hottest.
Yeah, dude, Nashville, the Charlotte race.
Mm-hmm.
kicking ass.
Yeah, everyone's talking about he's going to win soon. He's going to win soon.
Yeah, but he just feels like it's just a little bit too ugly. Now, the races that he runs are just a little muddy.
He's not making future races any easier on himself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True.
Like when he does start figuring this out, he's like, oh man, I'm going to run third today. Then this guy, oh, what that guy hit me. Oh, you forgot you wrecked him. That's true. I mean, he's not making the future races any easier.
That's true.
And you got to imagine a lot of these drivers don't trust to be around him. And so they're not, like, even if he hasn't pissed off a certain driver, they're going to race differently because they don't trust him, right?
Yeah, that's true.
At some point, somebody's going to be like, oh, there he is. Oh, wow, got into him. Whoops.
Yeah, they won't feel bad if they, put him in a bad spot and he wrecks because they're like, well, he's put half this field in bad spots.
All of it might not catch up with him, but some of it will.
I just think he needs to try to get him a little 5 to 10 week run of just trying to get good results and not be in the middle of the Whether you're on the track or the job, wherever you are, things can go wrong. All right. Mistakes and mishaps happen. It's just part of it. What matters is how fast you see them and what you do next. That's where safety culture comes in. You might recognize safety culture from being one of the Trackhouse Racing sponsors, but what you may not know is that safety culture is an app that gives your team a simple way to flag issues, assign tasks, and schedule maintenance all right there in real time. You see a problem, you take a photo, tag somebody, done. This allows things to get fixed with no waiting or back and forth. And the best part, everybody sees it, from the crews on the ground to the head office making key decisions. No one is guessing. Everyone is on the same page, keeping your business running smoothly. In motorsports, work is fast-paced, and we have no time for second guessing. If crew chiefs, drivers, and pit crews aren't on the same page, it could cost you the race. Safety culture helps your business operate like a well-oiled race team, keeping everything running smoothly and in sync. When everyone's on the same page from the floor to the front office, things run smoother, your team gets better every day. That is what safety culture is all about. Want to see how it could work for your crew? Head to safetyculture.com/SVG. All right, so we got William Byron calling in today, winner from Iowa this past weekend. Congratulations, William. Thanks for giving us some time today.
Yeah, man, no problem.
So, listen, man, I know the answer to this, but I got to ask anyways. Since I got into the broadcast booth this year, we had a couple of races where fuel mileage was a big deal. The 19 Briscoe at Pocono, he left the pit box early on their final stall. You saw the emotion from the crew chief, James Small, cussing, upset, knowing they ain't got enough fuel to make it to the end. Well, he makes it to the end, right? He figures a way to do it, and he gets it done. We had at Indy, Bubba and several other people stretching fuel, not sure if they can make it. You were one that actually ran out of gas. And then, we come to the race this weekend, and we have another conversation at the end about, man, it's tight on fuel, not sure if he can do it, And the fans are saying, how serious is the fuel mileage? Is it being played up by television? I know the answer to this, but I'm kind of curious, how nervous were you about how much fuel you had and whether you could save enough, whether you would be able to be aggressive enough saving without losing your track position? Yeah. How dire was that situation?
Yeah. So I think, it's a clear thing. Like it's definitely, it's a razor's edge that we all are kind of on. And, I think a lot of it has to do with tire fall off. This week there wasn't a lot of fall off. We knew that in practice. We were going faster as we ran, basically, especially Group 1. Took about 20 laps to get their quickest lap and for the track to kind of clean up. So we knew there was probably maybe half second of fall off in the tire. So that was really a lot of the strategy. And then, as far as the fuel goes, like it's a razor thin margin. It's very track position dependent. So if you're out in the lead, you're burning a lot more fuel and we're just up against really tight windows. So, when you're playing sort of the track position game, especially this weekend, it's like you're trying to make that window as long as possible. So, I don't think without the two cautions that happened, the last two cautions, we definitely wouldn't have had a chance to make it. But those caution laps gave us a window, and then I think we were maybe anywhere between 1 to 3 laps short, and we were able to save that mostly in the last 25 laps of the race once we got a bit of a gap. So I was extremely surprised how much fuel I could save and still make lap time at the end. I think I had enough rear tire left. My rear tires weren't super hot, so I could kind of just float a lot of speed into the corner and had a good, confident entry to the corner once I started doing that. So I think Iowa was one of those perfect tracks to save some fuel because you have kind of a shortish straightaway and long corners, and Pocono kind of wraps into that as well. But yeah, I mean, we've been on the wrong side of it a few times with not saving enough or not having maybe the most accurate way to know when we're going to run out. So yeah, just been improving all that stuff.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun to kind of see the teams get smarter, get more information, and get more confident in the data they're getting so that they can really be more aggressive. And we have some of these pretty cool moments, nervous moments about fuel mileage. And I know the fans think sometimes the TV sensationalizes the challenge of fuel mileage, but it's actually, we can see it in y'all's body language, at least the team's body language and the crew chiefs. But it's been a long time since you got to victory lane, man, which is weird because you've had a good year. I'd forgotten that it had been since Daytona that you'd actually won a race, and I don't know how that's felt for you, but every year I feel like that you get a little bit better. And I know from people that have told me about your work ethic that you're 100% focused, doing all the work necessary and then some throughout the week to be ready and prepared. You're a student of the game and you do all the hard work. But I see you sort of get just a notch better every year. And so I'm sitting here thinking, man, the guy's, he's in a really good spot. The team's performing well. I think that if I'm saying there's, who are the 4 guys that can battle for this championship, I'd put your name in that hat easy. But does the lack of wins concern you, or are you feeling like you're on pace, you're on the path you need to be on?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think the lack of wins was starting to kind of get to us a little bit, honestly. It was, if you look back towards last year, I mean, we won those 3 races early. Martinsville was the last one, and that was a huge win. And that was just kind of an aggressive, decision there at the end. We had a good car all day, so we were bringing speed, all the time. And it just seemed like if we put ourselves in a position to win, we won. And it was like, man, we just keep doing this, we're gonna rack them up. And then we went through a lull last year where we lost some speed, and we had to kind of sit down and rethink some things. And then we got in the fall in the playoffs, and we never finished worse than 6. We were incredibly consistent, always running in the top 3, really. But we didn't win. So we were always there, but we weren't really leading a lot. So that was our goal this year was, hey, let's lead more laps. Let's be try to be the fastest team. And we came out and we started doing that a lot. And then the wins weren't coming. It was still things that would happen. And some of it just out of our control, and some of it just situations. And so then it started to feel like, okay, now we got to just do everything right. And that was putting a lot of pressure to just for everything to go right. And honestly, this racing is some of it's not in your control. You just have to do the best job you can with the cards you're dealt. And so I think we kind of reconsidered that and took some pressure off and said, hey, let's just try to do everything we're doing. Our process is good. We're fast, but let's just kind of the result is a little bit out of our control. And it's just nice to see one kind of come back our way this weekend. I mean, that's why I was kind of laughing a little bit as I crossed the line, because it was like, it finally kind of just went back the other way. Like, yeah, we had a good car on Sunday. I think we were top 3 or 4 car, but not probably the dominant car. I thought Brad was really strong, and we just kept in the position, and some things worked our way, kind of opposite of some of the races that have not been that way. So I think it gives us a ton of confidence going forward.
I have a question about that part of the race, if you don't mind, real quick. At
Sure.
some point when you stayed out and you got up, you got that track position. You were obviously, I don't think you were planning on all the cautions in a row. I think at some point you thought you were going to have to come down pit road. Were you dreading that part, like thinking you were going to be in the, back there? Because Chase, the 21 pitted, all them guys decided to come down. What was the thought process like that part of the race? Were you planning on just trying to get tires late and trying to make up some ground like some of the guys did, or, before the point of, okay, maybe we can make it here? Because there had to be a point where you were like, man, we're still going to have to pit and come down here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was we were like right on that edge of so we had pitted, more recently than a lot of guys. So we had fresh tires, so we were passing people, getting back up through those guys. And there was 1 or 2 cautions that had kind of made our bed, where it's like, okay, we need a long run, and we need to, I wouldn't say bank on a caution late, but just get a long run where tires start to wear and guys start to have issues, and that's going to put us in a position where everyone now has to pit later on. So that was kind of our goal, was we just need one long run. And so when the long run wasn't happening, it was like, okay, now we're kind of making our bed more towards, just stretching this. And then it was like, I think before the last 2 cautions, he felt pretty confident that if we just got one, maybe 2 more cautions, there's a potential we could just make it to the end.
Yeah, you committed to it, and the other guys, no one else. I think you were the only car that really committed to that long strategy.
Yeah, because we were like one of 2 or 3 guys that pitted at the end of stage 2, and a lot of those guys took right side tires. So we had 4, and we had more fuel. So I mean, it was probably me and the 19, which the 19 actually ended up pitting again. So
the 48 might have been in that boat too.
Yeah.
Well, William, I appreciate you giving us some time today, man. It's awesome to see you have some success, and it's fun to watch your career develop, man. And I think, you're on the cusp of becoming a champion, and I believe that's going to be a reality for you, if not this year, in the near future, man. But good luck going forward, and we'll see you at the racetrack.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great summer, and hopefully see you again soon, next week, same time.
Absolutely, man. Sounds good. Hey, everybody, you want the latest Dale Jr. download apparel? Visit shop.dirtymomedia.com. We're always adding new stuff all the time, especially like when we say something silly on this show. We'll put it on a t-shirt. Again, check it out at shop.dirtymomedia.com. I am currently streaming using Xfinity Wi-Fi as we speak, and the speeds are amazing. Their new tag is the word booming, and their speeds are really good. So really thankful for Xfinity Wi-Fi and everything they do for NASCAR. The power and the speed that Xfinity Wi-Fi provides in your home is unmatched, and you can choose the right plan for you, and you're off to the races for the best streaming experience from NASCAR to all your favorite sports or whatever it is your kids are watching. Because Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. They don't raise the bar. They stream in overdrive. Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR. So
this first question is from Todd. And there's a picture, Dale, going around of your dad riding a bicycle pretty weird. I think he was riding it backwards and sitting on the handlebars. And he wants to know, how did he learn to ride a bike like that?
Practice, I guess.
Yeah, but how do you start that one?
Did he do that at the track all the time?
I think whenever he saw a bicycle, he might jump on it and do that, but not all the time. He didn't bring his bicycle and start riding it around. He wasn't like riding his. It's not like Dad over here during the break in the action riding his bicycle backwards while Morgan Shepherd's roller skating on the other side of the garage. Morgan used to bring his skates and skate all the time.
He fell that one time.
Oh man,
really?
It was so strange. It was the strangest thing because he skated like he was listening to the Bee Gees.
He did.
Yes.
He fell at like Loudon or something or on pit road.
Yes, he fell. Yes, of course. I'm sure he fell multiple times.
Yeah. Were you there when he practiced it?
I don't think I seen Dad do that one time in my life, but I know there's a couple of pictures of him riding a bicycle on the handlebars backwards.
I'd like to see you try it.
Yeah, have you ever attempted it?
I haven't. No, never had occurred to me.
Right. That's what I think that's what I love about the photos. You don't really look at a bicycle and be like, oh, I'm going to try to ride it this way,
Yeah.
But it was unique.
That was before tablets and all the cool gadgets and gizmos. It's when you had to go outside and just make up when you were a kid,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of games that you made as a kid.
Yeah, just making games up.
Tape a football card to the spoke so it made a different noise.
Yep.
I've not done that.
Oh.
Hey, but I lived the days where I'd ride around and play outside, all right?
I don't think he did.
I did. I don't know why I'm defending myself, but...
Probably because of that mustache you're trying to grow.
Yeah. All right. Katie wants to know, we've talked about your trophy collections and where you keep certain trophies and kind of like what you have at your house, where you have at Junior Motorsports. What do you do with the checkered flags when you win a race?
I got a bunch of checkered flags stuffed down into this cup that I won the Xfinity Series championship in '99 was a big like vase kind of cup thing, and I've shoved a lot of them down into that. They're just here and there and everywhere. I don't know, the flags, I don't frame them or put them up anywhere. They're just kind of stuffed in different locations.
I feel like the flag should be something that the driver gives to like the crew chief or spot or something. Like I know in golf, the golfers give the 18th pin flag to their caddy as like their trophy.
Oh, he never gave me one of them.
You never got one, TJ?
I have one. I do have one checker flag from a win. It was
you got a damn grandfather clock?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
that's like
that makes up for a lot.
Yeah, I do have one checker flag from win. It was the first win with Logano at Fontana in the Xfinity race. First race we won in 18, and I've got that checker flag.
But no checker flags from Dale.
No, he won't come off anything. He's got.
I don't know where do you get extra checker flags from?
You don't need an extra
flag.
True. Yeah, I mean,
there's only one checker flag that.
Yeah, you could give that to
at the end of the
they
race.
give everything to the driver: the check, the checker flag, the trophy, everything.
I don't even know where the checker flags are. Like that was never. So after every race, it wasn't like here's the checkered flag every time you won. So like there's some races where I don't even know where the checkered flag ended up.
I say most time you get champagne bottles.
Like a crew. Like sometimes I think Steve Letarte took a couple home. Maybe a couple crew guys got one here and there. But
when did it become common that was like the first thing that you do out of the car?
I mean, it's been, I don't know. Yeah. I think it's in recent years since the front straightaway interview.
I like when they give them to kids in the crowd too.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. That is a good feeling.
TJ, where's your grandfather clock? You got it in an important spot.
Which one?
Oh,
the one Dale gave you.
It's a good
that
flex.
one. That one actually is in my dining room. Well, I don't know which one's in my dining room or I took one to my parents' house.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the other ones, but I still wind it up and run it.
Wait, you're crying about what Dale gave you, and you're not even sure which one you have.
Yeah, he might have gave mine away to his to his parents. Jesus,
had to make room. Had to make some room in there.
Damn.
Wow.
Where's your flag that Logano gave you?
It's in Miles the Monster's hand from when Brad won driving for Junior Motorsports. I've got that replica trophy in there, and it's in that. He's holding it.
Nice.
That's cool. This next question is from Kevin, who wants to know what was it like being able to finally play NASCAR 25, finally, And how hard was it to narrow down the soundtrack? Because I saw you were talking about that on X.
Yeah, that was a fun conversation on social media. The game is going to be great, and people are wanting to see some gameplay. And I should have recorded it because I'm one of the guys I think could get away with posting some real some actual gameplay. I should have.
You should have.
I don't know why I didn't. But it's there's still some work to do, and it's not finished.
Yeah.
There's still some work to do, and I know they got a release date in October, but the team's working extremely hard to get everything wrapped up and done. There will be a lot of Dale Jr. download in the career mode.
Mm-hmm.
So me and TJ recorded about 30 or 45 different scenarios that can play out for a driver, hiring a new crew chief or losing somebody important on their team, like an engineer, or gaining a new sponsor, or getting themselves into trouble or whatever. And so, when this scenario sort of happens, or you choose this route, you'll hear from us and what we think about it. The soundtrack was, and there's some driver ratings. I know some people saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as far as I know, it's literally just fixed ratings. I don't know that you'll be able to adjust them, but you can literally go in there and look at, their drivers and what they're great at. And I think it'll create a lot of great conversation around how drivers are ranked. You know how the players in the NFL kind of take it personal with the Madden ratings. This is definitely going to create some controversy. And so there'll be some disagreement for sure. And with the soundtrack, this was something that I was really heavily involved in. I offered up some ideas on songs that we could include. We had a budget. The featured song that will be on the game is System of a Down. And we actually had to write a letter to their team to tell them about what the project. They didn't know what the project was. They didn't know what we were asking them and why we wanted to use the song. So I had to kind of spell it out for them and say, man, this is going to be awesome to hear this song. The first thing you hear in the menu would be this song. Now, then the other songs will shuffle through. And this song that we chose is an idea of somebody internally with iRacing. It wasn't a song that I proposed. It was something that came from within the staff and employees at iRacing. There's a lot of songs there's 27 different artists, so I'm assuming 27 different songs. And we tried to have a lot of different genres represented. Rap, rock, country, a little bit of history and nostalgia and mixed in as well. I did learn that when you go to buy the license or secure the license from a song that has a lot of samples in it, which a lot of rap has a lot of samples, you have to pay almost twice. Because you have to pay for the rights of the rap song that's created, and you have to pay the talent and the publishing company. But you also have to go and secure the rights to the sampled music. So it's super, super hard because everybody's got to say yes, and some of them argue over the percentage of what they think they should get versus the other parties involved. So getting songs with samples in them was really, really tough. There were a couple songs that I wanted that we didn't get. One of those was Stuntin' Like My Daddy. I wanted that in there.
So good.
I love that song. I like Lil Wayne. And that's one of my favorites from him. But we couldn't get it. we have to use the clean versions, and basically that kind of omitted all of the song. so like, yeah, when we got the clean version of Stunt Like My Daddy, it was a lot of gaps. But also, there's a person that clears the music for us. So there was this female. She was awesome. She went to all of the artists and the publishing companies and everybody to try to negotiate. Right, this is what she does for a living. And she also said, "Hey, we have a gigantic freaking library of independent artists." And she knew the kind of, after a while, she kind of got an idea of the kind of music we were going for. And she threw a bunch of ideas at us. And so I would get like 30 or 40 songs in a big chunk, and I would listen to all of them. And I'd go, okay, let's try to get this one or get this one or get this one. And they were really affordable. And so there's a bunch of, I think, good songs in there from some independent artists that I'm excited about, because this could be a big break for them. For this independent artist to be on this sort of soundtrack or in this game with a Killer Mike or System of a Down or whoever it may be, that's a big deal, right, for themselves. So I don't know. The soundtrack's going to be good for a lot of people. There'll be some people that are disappointed some things aren't in there, some songs aren't in there, and some people won't care. Some people will mute the music as soon as they start playing the game. So the soundtrack's not for everybody, but I always like soundtracks. And the reason why I got involved in this is because I learned about a lot of music listening to playing video games like Fight Night on EA Sports and Madden. And you had the ability to turn off certain songs and play other songs more frequently in some of those games. And I actually have songs in my library on my phone that I learned specifically from games. So
I remember Grand Theft Auto used to have you could switch the radio. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Dude, yeah. I've got
really
I've got a lot of those songs on Grand Theft Auto on my phone.
Oh, for sure. What'd you think of the gameplay? How did it drive?
It drives pretty good. I drove a little race, and the career mode's pretty cool. How you jump into the career mode, and you gotta sort of the career mode reminded me a little bit of the introduction to the career mode reminded me a little bit of like the Gong Show that Roush did.
Yeah,
where they had all these drivers come try to prove themselves, and so what we do is we plop you into this ARCA race at Rockingham, and you've got to achieve a certain result to get your career going. So it's kind of like, hey man, you're a local short track guy, and you're getting this chance to run this ARCA car, and you need to improve and impress to continue your career.
Duggar will love that. He loves Rockingham.
Yeah.
I think it's also cool that there's certain Xfinity drivers, like you can race as Ross or SVG in the Xfinity series. Yeah. Like that's a cool added detail.
It makes me mad that I didn't. It makes me mad that I didn't run an Xfinity race this year, so I could be a car in the game.
I know.
Yeah,
there's still time.
Yeah,
I go start and park an ARCA race. Maybe I can get into ARCA field.
Yeah. Well, I saw Cletus is in the ARCA field, which is pretty awesome. I know. I saw a lot of people were excited about that.
Yeah, I texted him and asked him if he would want to be in the game, if he mind being in the game. But yeah, I mean, it's been interesting to see how all this comes together and how it's a lot of work behind the scenes to secure all the cars and all the people's approval, and everybody wants to be involved, but it's a lot of legal involved too.
I'm sure. Well, I can't wait, and I appreciate the update, and I'm sure we're going to see some more and maybe some gameplay soon.
TJ, are you going to put a league together?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we got to finish our league now.
But I'm saying because you can do like for NASCAR, you can put like
Can you actually have a league on there?
I think you can.
Are you
I
gonna?
think
not,
you can have full fields.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are
Oh
you not
my
gonna?
gosh.
It's crazy.
I would, Travis, but you'd leave it for a 2-car league.
Well, it depends on your schedule. But thing is, I wouldn't be in another league. This would be my only one, so it'd work.
Good grief. You know we're live on YouTube. Y'all can talk about this later.
I prefer not to talk about Travis.
Sounds like we want to go to the next question.
Yes, we do.
This next question's from Marcus. They saw Jordan Bianchi reported that Chicagoland could be coming back next year. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I feel like that was the worst kept secret. I'm excited about that, and I think it'll happen. And I don't think the schedule's finished. I'm not trying to get things stirred up or anything. There could be nothing else that comes out about the schedule. It might be, San Diego and Chicagoland comes back and we lose Mexico City and Chicago Street Course, and that's that. But I've heard about some other things that might happen. And if they do, boy, that'd be fantastic. But schedule's going to keep changing every year, and I like that. I like the fact that we can get Chicago back. I think that getting Chicago back, Chicagoland back, is going to cost some money. It's going to take $5-10 million to get that track back together. Mm-hmm. And get everything fixed up and cleaned up and ready to go. And but I think it'll put on a hell of a show. And it's going to be slick and worn out. Oh, it's going to be abrasive.
It's going to be
so
rough.
abrasive.
It is.
Yes. And so it should be pretty awesome. Wide. They'll be all over the place. That track also has this really, really, really nasty bump in the middle of 3 and 4, TJ, and you know how these damn next-gen cars are with bumps.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be a freaking handful.
Where the tunnel is.
So they'll have to run the cars at a certain height to be able to get through there without crashing on the blocks and all that crazy stuff, and that'll make the car drive like everywhere else. And so that's good. That's a good thing. So I'm excited about Chicagoland. I feel like it's going to be a race that you're going to want to tune into and you're going to be entertained and enjoy.
All right. Well, that's a good place to wrap Ash Jr. this week.
All right, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks for supporting our show and everything we do here. Thanks to Xfinity. Booming speeds when you see them. Xfinity Wi-Fi has booming speeds like the roar of a NASCAR engine on race day. It gives you the power and speed of NASCAR in your home. Choose the right plan for you. And you're off to the races with the best streaming service for racing, for your kids, whatever they're watching on TV, all your favorite sports. They don't just raise the bar, they stream in overdrive, and they are a proud premier partner of NASCAR. We'll see y'all later. All right, it's time for the segment called Dirty Bordeaux, where we bring you some of the best bets to make this upcoming weekend. We talk about our previous failed bets from the weekend before. All this presented to you by FanDuel. We'll get right to it, man. We just cannot hit the top manufacturer.
Can't do it.
No.
We can't do it. It's tough.
I don't know why.
We had Bell, Larson, and Priest, and we didn't even get close.
Priest was close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close don't pay.
Bell spinning out hurt us too, but yeah, tough.
Yeah. Well, we're coming into Watkins Glen. This one may get a little simpler. I don't know. We know SVG is going to be at the top of the model as the Chevrolet. Who else is looking good, Russ, out of the Toyota and the Ford camp?
Christopher Bell from the Toyota camp, and then Buescher is your Ford guy on the model. So, but SVG for sure as the Chevy guy.
All right. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with those three. Anybody got an objection?
No, I like those three. Those are top of my list.
Three.
All right. So Christopher Bell, Chris Buescher, and SVG will be the manufacturer parlay for this week. Is there anybody that you'd bet on not named SVG to win?
I actually like Christopher Bell a lot this week. I think this is the week someone takes down SVG.
Okay.
I'm feeling that too.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit. I think the stretch is over. I think somebody's going to take it.
TJ, remember when you were doubting SVG?
I didn't doubt him. I just said we're going to some of these places where our guys have been to
We're
many
getting
times.
better. We're gonna get him.
Yeah.
It gets harder at these places whenever we go there. These guys, I mean, we have a lot of really great road course racers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. What do you guys think is a fair expectation of how Connor Zilisch will run on Sunday?
I think inside, I mean, maybe right around top 10-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think it's going to be challenging for him. Again, he doesn't have a ton of time in this car, and these guys have been to this track a lot. And I do think if he keeps it, I think a successful race for him would be top 15, but I think he could run top 10 if he hits everything right.
Yeah.
Tim's at this number. They have him second at plus 370.
No.
So top 10's probably not even. But he's just an avoid for you, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, betting wise, I just wouldn't touch him. There's no value on him. You know, if he wins, great. But it's plus 500, and that's he's a long shot in my eyes, just because he doesn't have a lot of.
I can't believe that his odds are. They got it wrong, because I honestly feel like that he's gonna do well if he can finish in the top 20.
Yeah.
He's gonna find out that, you know, as he has every time he's ran in the Cup Series, it's a different ball game.
I think it's the books trying to just protect themselves.
I get it. Yeah.
Russ, where do you have him on the model? I know it's hard
on-
because of limited races.
Yeah, on the model he's 22nd. So
I think actually really
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
And he could end up better than that, but I think that's realistic for right now.
I'm with you, TG. I think top 15 is what he should be gunning for. Really.
Yeah. I also agree with that.
Is this a race where you would live bet instead of betting like Bell or somebody pre-race?
I've just seen this year that the books have been a lot smarter with live betting, and they have made, if you're running in the top 10, you have, like, you know, plus 100, plus 200, plus 300. There's really no value in live betting for me, unless you're taking a shot on a guy who is on an alternate strategy and you're way ahead of it. I just haven't seen the value in there. But if you're going to bet SVG, I'd wait till after practice and qualifying, because this number's not going to move. It's like plus 160. That's not going to move much. So just wait.
All right. Any dark horses, even for top 10s, top 5s?
Yeah, Ryan Preece is plus 9,000 to win.
True.
I think that's a super underdog, but I mean, he was really good at Mexico City. He's had a couple top 10s, I think, on road courses this year.
He finds his way to the top 5 to 10 in almost all these races now, no matter what.
I would definitely bet him top 10, but if you want to sprinkle a little bit on that plus 9,000, I like that a lot.
He was
too.
the next car to go a lap down at Iowa at one point, and then next
Finished
thing you know, he's in the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have him as the 22nd ranked driver by odds.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, all right, man. Anything else, guys?
Russ, you got anything that like stands out?
Well, I like Kyle Busch for like a top 10 this week, like or even top 5 possibly. Like his 2 top 5 finishes this year are both on road courses. Like this, if you're gonna bet Kyle Busch this year, I would do it on the road course.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
What about a William Byron, someone like that? He's got a little momentum now, and he's been pretty good on road courses. What are his odds?
His odds to win
Plus
are
1,000.
Yeah, plus 1,000. I think he's a guy also, like, if he starts to win, he kind of gets that momentum, and he can rattle off 2 or 3 here pretty quickly. So I wouldn't mind him either.
What about Chase Elliott?
Man, I don't know.
That was the last car, TJ. Last car.
Yeah, they're a little iffy on strategy, to be honest with you. Every time there's a strategy race, and I think they're always on the wrong side of it.
I mean, did he win a race by strategy?
I don't know. Did he? Atlanta? I would not.
I like.
No,
I like.
Yeah.
I like a top 10 parlay for putting Preece, Kyle Busch, and who else? Who else, Russell?
Does it like what about an Allmendinger
Ooh, that's pretty decent.
Okay.
or even a Chase
McDowell.
Briscoe?
Ooh, Briscoe.
Briscoe, yeah.
Man, what about McDowell?
Whatever the best value
I like
is.
McDowell. Honestly, if you bet Briscoe top 3, he's finished second, like 4 or 5 times this year. You're probably making some good money if you bet Briscoe top 3.
Yeah, I think Briscoe is a good oddball to throw in there.
Yeah.
That could turn some heads.
All right. This Dirty Moto segment was brought to you by FanDuel, the premier gaming destination in the United States. All right, it's time for the white flag. The teardown was live on YouTube and Twitter following the race. Actions Detrimental dropped on Monday. Denny didn't hold back with his thoughts on the race, about the race car, and Door Bumper Clear was also out on Monday. My interview with Santino Ferrucci drops on Wednesday, and Herman Schrader and Speed Street also drop tomorrow, and another episode of Bless Your Heart will be out this Thursday. Hope y'all guys have a great week, and we'll see you tomorrow.